So we've got another icon SBC, and it's a big boy. It's 90 Jairzinho. The question is A, he worth doing, and B, grindable in 60 days? The 60 days part, to be honest, we should be able to do. Now, step one of ever doing any big icon, especially icons, we do get a loan. Make sure that this is a player for you, because at the moment, he is coming in at 2.4 million. Very, very expensive. So we have got a bronze, a silver, an 84 rated team for the loan, which I think is ridiculous in itself. We have an 85 with a team of the week, 286s, one with a team of the week, 287s, 387s, one with a team of the week, 388s, oh my god, 489s, and that's it. So no 90s, which is good. Janola's obviously there, and that's got to be the big question. So in terms of the SBCs we've got at the moment, I believe Jairzinho is the most expensive. Henry's leaving, Zico's leaving. I think most of these now are leaving, bar from the future stars. And to be honest, it's only Baggio that's about 500. So everybody else is relatively cheap, meaning there will be a lot more icons coming soon. So you've got 60 days to get him done. Don't rush out just yet, because we have got FUT birthday icons coming after this week. It's already been confirmed, and I've got a sneaky suspicion that maybe not Jairzinho. Well, to be honest, Jairzinho could get it, to be honest. I think because he was Centurions, there is a shout now. Best was Team of the Year. Then we had, who was the other one? Garincha's had a winter wildcard, so they are the two freshest. Jairzinho's next, to be honest. You've obviously had a Beckham in Future Stars as well. Figo hasn't. He had a Thunderstruck, I want to say. So Jairzinho, Figo could be in FUT birthday. Is he a 5-5 already? Could be a 5-5 as well. So always do your research before just going head first into this SBC. When we look at the actual players, we are going to have a lot of showdowns. To be honest, just as a straight from the leaks, I don't think any of them are going to be worth it at all. Unless there's ones that have not been leaked yet. These are 400k each. I don't like it. Dybala, the new player of the month today, 85-87, I quite like. He's got the double play style plus of flair and also finesse. Vlahovic has only got a day left. We've got Alex Scott that you could do, another left wing. I need to get him done. He's a must. Bowen can do something. Undav, great fodder. Jota can do one. Herrera can do one. Singo, what are the two SBCs? 84-85. Did I miss him yesterday? I mean, they can go up by +4, but that's still a bit expensive. De Jong's great fodder. To be honest, Lewandowski's great fodder. There is my boy. Love Rasmus. Only one SBC is absolutely a must. Team of the week 86. Nice and easy. We then have Ginola, who is very expensive in himself as well. He's currently coming in at 2.9, so a little bit more than obviously Jairzinho. We will have a look at the SBCs and go through them, and then you've obviously got a few of the others. We've got Carvalho's expensive. Rolfo looks like a must do now. Smaller X a decent one. So we are in a good situation where Jairzinho does come out on top as one of the better players. He is a 5-4, rapid plus, can play strike if you really want. He is more designed on a right wing. Obviously the dribbling's good. Everything about the card is good. It's more to the fact of, A, does he fit your team right now? He should definitely fit a lot of people's team, but is he going to make that much progress? So, like, for instance, at the moment, I think my wingers are Best and Garincha. So in terms of 2.4 mil worth of fodder, I don't think I would go over Garincha, even though he is better than Garincha in my opinion. He isn't necessarily that much better where I'm willing to take away an untradeable to put in 2.4 million worth of fodder. I'd rather put Best back on this side and go do Ginola if I'm being brutal. So he is one of them ones that if you want him, he's going to cost a lot, and there is going to be a lot of SBCs to come. So to start with, where do we even start with him? Because he is a big one to grind. It's not as if you're going to grind him in a day. He's going to take a little bit, because an 89 rated squad, especially 4 of them, is going to take a while. Now, my trick whenever doing these is obviously get the bronze and silver done. There's no problem with that. That's your first 2. It makes it look good that you've got 2 of 16 done and the other 14 are high rated SBCs. But I would always try and do the 89s first, or at least whilst I'm grinding, go that way, because naturally you will get more duplicates from your 85s through to your 87s. I think everybody knows that is common sense. The 89s, likely chance you're not going to get much that are duplicate.
If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders.
It comes to an 89 rated SBC as well. There is plenty of gold fodder that you can get. So realistically, if I'm looking at these, Kev, Courtois, Lawan, Kane, Kerr, even Messi at this point, probably Hansen as well. Most of these, Salah, to be fair, Salah might be at discard value now. Vinny obviously isn't yet. And everybody else, Neymar, is Neymar? Even Neymar's at the discard price. So what is you at? Yeah, so even Neymar's there. Virgil obviously isn't. He's as close as can be. So you can use all of the golds. When it comes to specials, again, look through and just see, is there anybody that you're not going to use? Like, for instance, I normally go with a rule of thumb is if I can get them again. So, for instance, like a Smith, I would happily use it. If I'm not using her, I would put her in. Somebody like, for instance, a Stones or a Martinez who I can't get back until there's another card that I've got ahead of him, I more than likely won't put him in just yet. That is just a collector's mentality. Especially with the fantasies, I would try and hold off until they have fully upgraded, because you don't want to put in like an Aspas and he goes to 91. The likely chance of it happening, very slim, but at least then you've got a 91 SBC fodder rather than an 89. It's just holding on for a little bit longer. But you should technically have quite a lot if you've been playing the game. I've got so many fodder between 88 and 86 because I don't tend to use my specials. I try and use as many golds as possible, hence why I'm actually really low at the moment, because we're just hitting nothing. And always a nice little extra hint, if you are trying to kind of keep your coins at a level, I must admit, buying the packs with coins is definitely not a bad option. Just purely on the fact that I grind the coins out just from playing the game very, very quickly. So for instance, I don't know what we've actually got in packs at the moment, but normally what I look for, oh, there it is that it? I look for this one, to be honest. 500k, 70 players, 83 rated or higher, 5 guaranteed 87. I would rather have an excess of 83s than an under, because 74 is a decent amount. You find yourself with at least a solid amount of walkouts at the minimum from what I've done anyway. You can obviously go for the 600k and go 30 85s. Again, you'll probably get more 85s than you would, or 85s and above than you would from the 74, but it all depends on what you're kind of looking at coin-wise. I normally try and do that because realistically, I don't spend fodder. I don't spend coins on fodder at all anymore, because you can just grind out the game, and there is so many different upgrades. Like today, we got the, I think it was the 81 double we've still got the 84 times 5, we've got the 81 player pick still, the 81 times 2. What is that coming in at? Oh, 11. Oh, I just hate it. I've got to give 1 for a test, but I normally hate when they do 11. It just never ends well. So if we put 6 in of common, and then we'll go with the normal amount of rares. So that should be 6. We'll go with the rares. I personally would go for the player picks just looking at this. The 81 double is very enticing, but I normally find if you've got 11 in your team, it just takes so much fodder away. I'd rather go for the picks, to be honest. They normally are more broken because they require 8. I know it's not necessarily a great deal difference, like free cards is free cards. Technically you get 1 extra, but you get to choose away from your duplicate, and normally just out of luck, they tend to be better, the player picks. It somehow so happens to be Real Madrid. Oh, imagine. Was that Martinelli? Okay, we take it. 84 and an 82. So, again, that's going to be worth nothing in my opinion. We get the 84, which is nice. And sometimes you will get lucky. You might get 2 walkouts out of it. But for my opinion, I always go for player picks rather than double upgrades. It just tends to be better in my progress, especially on this game. That's normally the case. So the way I would kind of start in terms of grinding the game out, objectives, foot champs, rivals, do all of them to be able to get it. Obviously, if you're progressing through the season. Today, we got a big upgrade from, how many days we got left? We've got 6 days left. We also did get the NWSL, which gives us 4,000 XP to grind out also. I don't know if we get any extra XP anywhere else. I think the only other way now is obviously in the kits, then obviously the daily, and also we've got the weekly again. So we can get that done this time round, and I can imagine they will give us like another 4,000, 5,000 daily 1 objective to get done as well. That normally is the case going forward. So in terms of that, the objectives are always a nice point to start with. Then in terms of SBCs, it depends on what you're wanting. If you're going to be buying packs with your coins, that's going to give you a great great deal to start with, but I'd be looking at definitely all the challenges. So we've got the Daily Showdown, UEFA Marquee Matchups. Obviously, the Marquee Matchups this week is a rare player pack. That could get you something good that is tradable. Likely chance, probably not, but at the minimum, it is fodder. We then also have some of these, which I normally look for if I'm going for kind of an extra special card, a 1 SBC if possible, but you can definitely get that done. 84 times 5s. I'd be grinding out as many player picks that you can, the daily bronze, silver and gold as much as you can. And as again with the league SBC, it always works. It's just a natural one. Sell the left hand side, keep the right hand side. And what I've seen from a lot of people is using the exchange as well. What you could do is go out and buy 89 rated cards and then just go put them through. The 51 players actually gets you a decent amount. Like in terms of what you can get, an 89, what's the lowest 89 we can buy, in fact? I know we can do this on Footbin, but say we look for Rodri. Oh, he's going to be out of packs, but I mean, Rodri's coming in. By the looks of it, I think you could probably get 30k. 30k, I reckon. So if you go into Footbin, you can normally check by rating. So the lowest 89 according to Footbin is 32,000 for ter Stegen. So 32,000, what you can do there is then go ahead and put 51 players, potentially get some walkouts as well out of that. That is a possibility. You could then go do 81 picks. You could then obviously get a team in a week from it to do some 84 times 5s. There is endless amounts for 30k there. So if you didn't want to necessarily buy a pack, you could buy 89s and just start rinsing through 51s. That again is never going to be a bad option whatsoever. If then you get a duplicate 85, 6, 7, 8 that you're not using or don't have a full team, make sure you are utilizing this rather than just discarding, because to be honest, I even forgot this was here. It's a great addition to the game of grinding. If you are doing any of these upgrades and you get an untradeable duplicate, put them in there at the absolute minimum. I should have put Grealish and that 87 in there from, I don't know if it was from this video, but I think I did. I had packs and I just had them saved. I was meant to put them in an SBC. I ended up discarding them. I should have just put them in here. Even if it's 7 players, it's an extra 7 players rather than discarding, and 19 from that one. So in terms of that, I'd be grinding through as many upgrades, buying players with the exchange, and then kind of just going through what I can with him. Whether I think he's worth it, personally for me, I would say no. He's a great player, but with the SBCs that are coming, we've got Team of the Season right around the corner and Foot Birthday. Foot Birthday is normally a big one for packs, players, SBCs. It tends to be a decent promo. So I'm hoping that that's going to be the number one promo, and then we go into Team of the Season, or I believe we had Trophy Titans before it. So in terms of him, I would say no, but if you are grinding it round, all of the challenges, all of the upgrades every day, trying to get as many 89s to start with and work your way down. If you do get, say, an 88 duplicate and you haven't quite got an 88 rated team done at an 89, then yes, of course, go backwards, go 85s, 86s, and just keep it as cheap as possible. Normally, for the rule of thumb, especially with like the 89s, I'll use 88s, 89s, 90s, and 91s if I've got them. 88s, I would only go one above and use 89s, 88s, and 87s. 90s would be predominantly through all of this. If you have any left over, that's fine. Then when it comes to the 87 and 86s, the 87s, I'd only go to 88 and only go lower to 86. So when I do the 86s, I've got all of my 85s there, and then I can start grinding through the 86 and 87s again. And then as we keep going down, it just keeps everything in order rather than using like an 88 and a 90 and then a load of 84s in it. I can obviously then keep it very tailored when we are looking at a mass amount of these SBCs. Like I say, special cards if you need to. Gold cards are always going to be grindable, and let me know down below if you're going to complete them.